Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is Sunday, the 22nd of August, 2021. Let's see, what was I going to say? Before we get into this video, I will be live streaming tonight at 8 p.m. So I would encourage you all to join me then. Ooh, look at, they got it pretty high there, see that? That's why I had to make the fence higher. They would have flown right out if I hadn't made that fence higher. Anyway. They were up there pretty high. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you had a good weekend. So it's a tropical storm now, and it's Henri. Henri. Well, then why is there a spell with an H? Doesn't make any kind of sense. I don't care if it's French. I don't care about that. Spell it phonetically then. I'm just being sarcastic, guys. I don't care less. If it starts with H-E-N, I'm thinking Henry, okay? So, you know. But apparently the French call it Henri! Henri! Hella. Can you say that? Huh? What? So anyway, Henri made landfall in Rhode Island. I know, you're a good baby. Yes, you were. And so were you guys. You guys are good babies too. All right. So, I'm sorry. I'm easily distracted. Anybody that watches this channel knows that, and I'm easily amused as well. So, you know, you have to be ready for these things with me. So anyway, back to what we were saying. So it makes landfall in Rhode Island. Here's something I want you to think about, and this is, I thought, was interesting. When the storm was coming, and they had Long Island, obviously did get some effects from the storm, and they were saying that it is not feasible to do mass evacuations out of different parts of Long Island, especially eastern Long Island, because there's only one way in and one way out, right? And it always reminds me when I see those type of things of how truly vulnerable Florida is. Where I live right now, I can take off in 4 different directions. And I can drive and get wherever I need to go in 4 different directions. If there's a major emergency in Florida and you need to get out of Dodge, and say you live down in Miami, there's not 4 major directions and you can travel. You can go west for a little while, and you can go north. That's it. I'm not going east because that's putting you in the ocean. You can't go south because that's putting you in the ocean. Alright, so unless you have a boat and you're able to get out of there by boat, that's a whole different thing. But if you have something major, a major storm coming in, realistically there's one way in and there's one way out. And people really do need to remember that. You know, when you live in, again, picking where you live and the things that you want to do and the things that you want to accomplish, you need to pick your location very, very strategically. And I think this is a real good example of that. Like if you're, like I said, if you're on that Long Island, a lot of the different places there, their only option was to hunker down, you know, as the storm came. Now, it downgraded to a tropical storm, from a hurricane, from a Category 1 hurricane, but it's still going to do a lot of damage. There's still going to be a lot of rain. There's still going to be a lot of storm surge. There's still going to be a lot of flooding. There's going to be power outages. I know that they were saying that there'd be at least 300,000 people in Rhode Island without power, which is 1/4 of the total population. So, you know, there's going to be power outages. There's going to be a lot of damage from the storm and stuff like that. And again, these are very infrequent storms that happen in this area. I mean, Sandy was 9 years ago when that one hit. And again, like I said, it's very infrequent that you get these kind of storms, you know, in New York, New Hampshire, you know, Massachusetts and all those areas there, Rhode Island. So this is not a normal thing that they expect to happen on a regular basis, because it's not. So, but again, having your location where you are, picking your location, and it's kind of what I wanted to talk about a little bit today. Picking your location is very, very important. You have to have criteria what works for you. Now, if you want to be down in the valleys, that's fine. Is it going to be better for growing in the valleys? Of course, okay? But what comes with that, when you're in the valleys, you're prone to flooding. That's a fact. That happens. If you are in a higher elevation, you're less likely that you're going to have to deal with flooding. Now, if you have, torrential rains for days upon days upon days, obviously then flooding can become an issue in a higher elevation as well. But it's less likely that you're going to have to be dealing with that type of issue. Down in the valley, with like all that rain that we just had, that tremendous amount of rain that we just had, I will guarantee you there's a road that every time, especially with the spring runoff, they always end up having to close the road because it floods the whole area and the water's over the road and stuff like that. And I will guarantee you that with this last storm that we just had, with all that rain that we just had, that was the same case then. And it takes a couple days and the water dissipates, and then they're able to open things back up again. But again, it's choosing where you want to be, what is going to be a safer location. I like high elevation. I like high elevation for a lot of reasons. Number one, it's very defensible. When you have a high elevation, it's very, very defensible. And that's a big part of it for me personally, to be able to look at a situation and go, okay, we can defend here. People have to come up to us. We don't have to, climb up the hill to them. You look at Gettysburg in this situation with like Little Round Top and all those type of things. The Union troops dug in, and then, the Southern troops, their leaders decided to try to take that hill at the cost of a tremendous amount of lives. So, and they didn't take it. So realistically, what they should have done, and let's think about this. Let's look at a history lesson here real quick. What they should have done is circumvented it. Let them stay up there. Let them stay dug in and go around it. They didn't need to take that hill. They didn't have to take that hill. Okay, but that was the decision that was made by the leaders at the time. If they had, because here's what happens then. Let's think about this for a moment. If they circumvent that hill and go around it and started heading towards Washington, D.C., now those troops have to chase them. So they're not in that good defensible position where I'm not looking to go anywhere. I'm looking to stay in my position, to stay where I'm at, and, be able to handle the situation as it comes in. So those are things that people do need to think about as well. But, yeah, it is amazing to me. It really, really is amazing, where people choose to live. The coast is beautiful, and, the majority of the populations of the world live within a few miles of the coastline. But it's also a very dangerous place to live if something happens, or I should say when something happens. You look at Sumatra, and when they had the earthquake there and the water came out and people were like, oh my God, what's happening? They were staying right on the beach. And then the waters came back in and it killed, a couple 100,000 people in that area. A lot of tourists died in that area. Just a very bad situation. But these things will happen. They'll happen again. And that's what people don't always seem to remember, that these things are going to happen. Why do you build and live underneath a volcano? I don't understand that either, But again, and it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So, something to think about. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that, obviously, and I want to hear what your feedback is. But again, I want to go back to the hurricane that is now a tropical storm, Henri, and make sure I say it right, because I got so many people hammering me because I said it wrong. So again, see, I don't watch TV, so I don't know the way that they're pronouncing it. I didn't realize it was French. Excusez-moi. I know I'm a jerk. I know, I can't help it. It's just there. Anyway, but those poor folks are having a lot of issues, and they're going to be having issues for a while. And hopefully they're ready, which we all know. Anybody watching this channel knows that the majority of them are not. They're not ready for a prolonged period of time without any power, without having enough gasoline and those type of things. Again, use these examples, my friends. Use these examples of why we do what we do. Why do we prep? Why do we get ready? These are the great examples of why we do what we do. And I want you to think about that. Always remember there's a reason. There's a reason for everything. You know, and it may not seem smart at the time if you don't think, you know, I mean, some people would say no, but you have to think about that. All right? So, anyway, I want to hear your feedback. I want to hear what you guys have to think. I know there's a lot of people that are suffering right now, dealing with this situation, and I hope everybody's going to be okay, and I hope everybody's safe, and I hope there's not a huge loss of life with this. One loss of life is too many, and so, you know, but with the flooding, be careful. Don't drive through flooded roadways. That's just not smart. So, you know, like I said, again, be safe. Again, I encourage you all to join me tonight. I got to show you Miss Molly over here chilling in the weeds. Join me tonight for the live stream. We'll have a good discussion like we normally do. Sundays are usually a pretty good one. We get a pretty decent crowd on Sundays, so looking forward to that. Remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life, so it's really important to tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Also remember, we are one race called the human race, and as soon as we can figure that out, we're going to be in so much better shape. It would be amazing how we would be if we could get that figured out. And so people need to remember that. Stop letting them divide us. That's important as well. Also remember STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from reaching the goals that you were set are you. That's it. Nobody else can stop you. Stay focused, stay out of, stay away from the negativity, and you're going to be in much, much better shape. Focus on what you need to. Take care of your families. That's important. All right? Okay, so anyway, I'm going to jump off here for now. I will see you all tonight. Oh, it's semi-sunny today, as you can see. We had some clouds. Brought in halfway decent power today as well, so that's not a bad thing. All right, I will see you all later. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.